The con returns to San Diego, and we have live coverage all morning from the convention center. ABC 10 News morning anchor Jared Aarons joins us now. Jared, things are going to be a bit different this year as big actors are sitting out of this year's convention.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the big headlines, but what it does, Vanessa, is it lets some of the smaller headlines take over, and that's why I came down here to Artists Alley. This is where a lot of the comic book writers and artists like to hang out during the convention to get some FaceTime with their fans and promote their books. What you may notice if you're here at Artists Alley is that there are a lot of women authors this year and a lot of female characters that are taking priority in a lot of these books. I spoke with a couple of experts who say this is part of the industry that's not new, but it's certainly seeing a resurgence. In her new books, 357 Magnum Opus and Pimp Killer, author Ghezal Omar wanted to give readers the kind of female action hero she grew up watching on screen.
Angelina Jolie, whether she was playing Fox on Wanted or Tomb Raider, Sigourney Weaver, Gina Davis, even Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor in Terminator.
But she didn't see them in books, so she created it.
They take charge and make decisions and aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
And in The Majestics, Caden Phoenix wrote a series of Disney princess-style origin stories with a twist.
They are different in that you don't need a prince to save you. The princesses, they save themselves.
Both women are at Comic-Con this week promoting their books. They're prime examples of graphic novels that give women greater representation in a genre dominated by men.
This isn't new. This is a resurgence.
But SDSU lecturer Mary Ellen Stout, who teaches the history of women in comics, tells me this new wave is built on a foundation of women authors dating back to the late 1800s.
They were writing for newspaper comic strips. They were putting issues like suffrage out into the papers. They were writing about flappers, right? They wrote about women's lib.
But Stout says after World War II, women were pushed out of the industry's mainstream, so they started to create their own.
It wasn't until people like Trina Robbins started to produce comic books that women wanted to read, right, that spoke to their issues. And it was that generation that kind of spurred what we're seeing now.
That's giving girls more than just Wonder Woman to look up to. It creates a sense of wonder about their own stories. It's what Phoenix and Omar want for their readers.
So for someone to be able to read something written by female, illustrated by female, lettered, like created, published by females, especially a Latina, especially a queer Latina, it's just like, that's important, right? Because storytelling reflects democracy.
Now, Stout tells me that the increase in self-publishing and also the increased number just of publishers in general have made it easier for more voices to kind of get their foot in the door in the industry. But she also says there is a business side to this and that these publishing companies wouldn't be seeking out all of these female authors and female-led stories if there wasn't a market for them.